What's going on, guys? So we have or had a bit of a predicament here, and I wanted to go through my process and what we did about it, because this is probably one of the scariest things that you can discover if you own an RV. So hang tight, I'll be right back. All right, so I'm going to share a little story with you of actually what took place to discover that we had a rodent in our RV. Now, this was one of those things where everything kind of perfectly lined up for me to be able to discover that we had a rodent and to take care of it. So I came out to the RV. I was inside and I was spraying it for bugs because I try to do that about once every month. So it was time to spray it for bugs. I went through the inside, I was spraying it all, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and crank up the generator. I try to do that every couple of months and just let it run for about 30 minutes because it's just part of good preventative maintenance and just making sure that you're taking care of it. So I go to actually start the generator with the button inside of the master bedroom, and it doesn't start. So the next thing I do is figure that, well, maybe the battery's dead. So I come out here, I flip open the front cover, pop the cover down, I try to start it from the actual generator itself. There's another exact same button as what's inside. It doesn't start up. I go get my jumper box, I hook it up to the battery connections, and when I do, I look down and I see some rodent poop. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I've never had a rodent issue in my RV since we've had it. Never. And I'm thinking, what could be worse than running into some huge hive of, or some huge nest of rodents inside of the RV and a bunch of electrical damage and all of that stuff. So I got super stressed out for a minute, and I started to figure out, what do I need to do at this point? And I think even though most people probably have an idea of what to do, they panic and start thinking of all the videos they've watched, everything that they've heard, everything that people had advised them to do if you ever have a rodent problem in your RV. So I was starting to think of those things, and I came up with a quick list. First thing I need to do is identify how bad the problem is and start looking around. Now, one of the first things I decided to do was remove some panels, try to get behind things to figure out if I see poop in other areas and if there's any signs of nesting materials, things that they've pulled into the RV to make a warm place for them to cuddle and stay. So I checked in here, and I did find a couple areas. There was one area right back here next to the wall, and then there was another area behind the generator under here. In the process of vacuuming it out, I actually vacuumed out over a dozen super tiny, still living baby rats. They were about that big, and I vacuumed them all out, and really grossed me out because I had no idea that they would be back there. And when I'm vacuuming and all of a sudden you hear things going into the vacuum, you kind of wonder what's going on. So I got them all out, and I decided, you know what, I really have to attack this thing headstrong, just dive into it. So I removed everything from the storage compartment here, took everything out, I vacuumed out everything that I could, I disinfected the interior, I actually went through it with a disinfectant spray, sprayed everything that I could. I tried to do the very best job I could of cleaning this space out. There were some stains on the bottom that I thought were probably from like rat urine, stuff like that, but it really wasn't. It was just oil and grease from things that had been set in here before. But I just went through the process of just trying to clean everything out. I got back there, did the same thing, vacuumed as much as I could. I got my leaf blower when I was done with all of that to just blow in any areas to see if there's anything else that was loose. I even dropped panels underneath the RV, and I looked underneath to see what was there, and I discovered exactly where the rat came in. So I'm going to show you real quick because I spent time yesterday taking care of that. They came in right there. And I have a video of me sealing all that up, but as you can see, I have fresh foam in a lot of different places, and you'd be surprised why that was even open. So the reason why that space was open was because, if you recall, after I got the RV, we took it camping, and the very first trip, we could not get the gray tank handle to completely close. And we found out that a part of the molding that was actually used to inject the shape of the tank was still inside of the tank, and it got caught in the gray tank exit, or basically the gate valve, and it wouldn't let me close it. Well, the mobile repair crew that Coachman actually sent out to fix it had dropped this whole panel open, and they had broken all of the seals that basically kept everything out. So in the process of fixing it, they created an entry path for rodents. Now you see my sewer hose over there. When that's connected, you can see how it basically gives them a bridge to go straight into the bottom right there, because when I dropped that down, there was some rat poop inside of there. So the process of getting rid of the rats actually really wasn't that difficult. What I essentially did was, you know, all the ruckus of cleaning this out and all of that, mixed with the fact that I had my little noise emitter down here. I brought it down here, and I had that blaring all night long. I also had a Bluetooth speaker in here blaring rock and roll all night long. Probably drove anything that was living out of there. And I came back the next morning, I looked under the panels with lights, I looked everywhere in here, and I didn't see anything, which was really good. All the panels were cleaned out really well. I basically have an RV that has no rodents in it at all now. We cleaned it out really, really well, disinfected everywhere that we could. I used some disinfectant spray around the battery. Probably wasn't the greatest idea because it caused a little bit of corrosion, I guess, from the fumes. I'm not exactly sure what that could be from. But I came back and there was some white powder around there, so I need to get all of that cleaned off. That said, we are clear of everything. I've checked the inside. I've sprayed the inside down with peppermint oil, the same with the bottom of it. I put Irish Spring soap inside of the RV. And as an extra precaution, you can see I have my noise emitter right here, which is basically designed to really, really bug the hell out of anything that might be in here. It has strobing lights whenever the door is closed, plus a really, really, really loud speaker. And I've already shown this several times. The reason why I think this wasn't effective as preventing them from coming in was because that was inside of the RV, and believe it or not, from the inside to this space, there's quite a bit of sound dampening, so you don't hear it that loud. And I think that any rats or anything that might have been around it inside wouldn't have stayed around. And to further that point, there's no evidence at all that there's ever been a rodent inside of this RV. Matter of fact, I don't even see dead bugs inside there. So it is really, really clean. We always keep up with it. Again, if I had noticed any type of droppings or anything on the inside, I would have gone nuclear on the inside as well. But again, we're pretty dang confident that there's nothing left in here. We also have another one of these repellers right here. This was actually in the RV, and big fault of my own, I had disconnected it about 2 months ago, and I just completely forgot I had disconnected it. It was laying up front here, and I'm like, you know what, I gotta hardwire that thing in here because I just don't want to have to worry about that anymore. So I hardwired it in. We blared this thing all night. We put the speaker in here, and I set bait traps out with some really, really tasty almond and pecan and walnut treats on them, on a couple of them. I had more of them out. I actually came back and I took them out this morning. I have a Simply Safe camera that's pointed right at it with motion detection on and night vision, and nothing. We had it out all night, not a single thing, not a single problem, not a single thing stirring inside of the RV. It's clean inside there. We got everything packed back up, but I feel like we tackled this problem well. Again, you got to take a lot of precautions when you're cleaning stuff like this up, but overall, I don't think there's evidence of anything else in here. Definitely a big scare. It's one you got to get ahead of as quick as possible. I even went through and I checked the wires, and I did not see any type of damage to any wiring, which is also super important. That said, I just wanted to give you guys an update on the journey and the drama. I figured I'd open up the generator box as well. We have another trap in here also, and I also have a peppermint oil deterrent sack in here, which is super, super strong. But yeah, we haven't had anything that has appeared back inside of here at all, and hopefully it stays that way. But this is definitely one of those things that you want to be very cautious with. As you saw from underneath, we went around everywhere, sealing everything up that could have potentially been an entry point for a mouse or a rat, and I think that we did an extra good job. I even sealed around some areas that I hadn't sealed in the past, like around this area. And that right there was one of the first projects I did. But there's spray foam all throughout different areas underneath here. And this is the Pestblock foam that really is supposed to do a pretty good job of keeping them from biting through it. That said, pretty happy. I think we did about as best a job as we could to deal with the rodent problem. And to the best of my knowledge, there was only one rat with a bunch of babies. And unfortunately for the rat, the babies were all gone, and the rat now is homeless. I'll put links in the description of this video to the different products that I purchased and used. And if this is a problem you're dealing with, I think the biggest thing to do is not stress out, not panic, but go ballistic on them. Just do everything you can. Combine the things that smell bad to them, combine the things that they hate hearing, combine the things that bother them, the shaking, the vibration, all of that stuff, leaf blower, all the air. and you can probably get rid of them with minimal pain and suffering. Guys, if you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, and we'll talk to you again very soon.